Hi, welcome to Matthew Explores, and this is another episode of History in a Pint. Today we're in the picturesque village of Willingdon on the outskirts of Eastbourne in East Sussex. Normally we finish with a pint, but today we're also starting with a pint, one at the Red Lion pub. Then we'll wander through centuries of history exploring the village pubs, medieval churches, blue plaques, ancient ridges and old inns, before finishing at the Wheatsheaf for a final dose of history and a well-deserved second pint. So come along with me and Bronte as we uncover the stories that make this village special. Welcome to the Red Lion, one of Willingdon's most historic and charming pubs, located on Wish Hill. This pub is tied to the Hall and Woodhouse Dorset Brewery, famous for its badger ales. And today I'm having a pint of Thirsty Ferret. So cheers. That's the first pint. We'll be back for another pint at the Wheatsheaf shortly, but now we are going on. Camera describes it as a community favourite situated at the foothills of the South Downs, popular with local walkers. But what really gives the Red Lion its unique character is its rich connection to local lore and some literary legend. The pub claims a tie to George Orwell's Animal Farm. Orwell, born Eric Blair in 1903, attended St Cyprian's School in Eastbourne from 1911 to 1916. Local traditions hold that Willingdon was the inspiration for the village in Animal Farm, and the Red Lion was the pub where the farmer Jones got so drunk one midsummer's eve that he forgot to close the potholes. Maps from the period show chalk pits and lime kilns nearby supporting the folklore. Whether Orwell actually had a pint here is uncertain, but the story has become woven into the fabric of the village. Often cited is this extract from George Orwell's Animal Farm, and the extract is: on a midsummer's evening, Mr. Jones went into Willingdon and got so drunk at the Red Lion that he did not come back until midday on Sunday. Moving on from the folklore, inside the pub retains traditional charm. Today it remains a central hub to the community and continue to serve locals and walkers of the South Downs. Right, moving on to our first destination. We're at the village water pump. Almost opposite the Red Lion is Willingdon's village water pump, a small but fascinating piece of heritage. Before the pump was built, villagers collected water from a natural spring or dipping hole. Willingdon sits on chalk, so the groundwater flows easily beneath the village. In 1880, the pump house was built to protect and formalise the spring. This isn't just functional architecture. Look closely and you'll see fragments of animal bones embedded in the masonry. Sheep, cows or other livestock used as construction fill. Decorative tiles and niches give it a Victorian elegance unusual for a water pump. For decades it was a vital social hub. Locals gathered, gossiped and exchanged. Children ran errands fetching water. Even though it no longer functions today, it's a living symbol of village life before mains water. Next we stroll to St Mary the Virgin, Willingdon's parish church and a Grade 1 listed building. While the church may have existed here since 1054, the current nave likely dates to the late 12th century with 14th and 15th century modification. The chancel was added around 1400 and the west tower with its short broched spire is from the late 12th, early 13th century. Inside, the north arcade has 4 bays, the easternmost insert later, and the chancel arch features semi-octagonal responds, typical of the 15th century. The church houses the tombs of the Parker family of Ratton and the Freeman Thomas family, Marquess of Willingdon. Notable memorials include Sir Nicholas Parker, with effigies of his 3 wives, and Thomas Parker. Victorian restorations occurred in 1875, 1878 and the early 20th century, with bomb damage repairs after World War II and the additions of the West Gallery in 1953. Across the street at the church house, also known as St Mary's Church Hall, we find the Grade 2 listed building. Originally a mid-19th century school and schoolmaster's house, it became a church hall in 1953. Flint walls, stone dressings, tiled roofs, casement windows preserve its historic character, while inside it now hosts parish meetings, events and community activities. Together the church and the hall tell the story, both spiritual and social life in the village over the centuries. Just a short walk to number 22 Church Street, we've come to the once home to Richard Lewis CBE. A celebrated Welsh tenor, Lewis performed at Covent Gardens and the Met Opera House, singing works by Verdi, Puccini and Wagner. He moved to Willingdon in 1983, living there until his death in 1990. To honour him, a Blue Plaque was unveiled at the house in June 2012. Today it commemorates his lasting contribution to music and Willingdon's cultural history. Now, after a very steep walk, we find ourselves at Butts Brow. Butts Brow, the ridge above Willingdon, it's a place where time layers itself. Archaeologists, including Heritage Eastbourne, have uncovered a Neolithic enclosure, circular ditches and banks dating back 5,000 to 6,000 years, around 3,600 BCE. Pottery sherds and flint tools suggest seasonal gatherings or ritual use. Butts Brow also witnessed 20th century tragedy on the 2nd of February 1944. A BD-24D Liberator, codenamed Ruthless, crashed here during poor visibility after a mission over northern France. Sadly, all 10 crew members died, and a memorial plaque now recalls their names and sacrifice they made, blending the prehistoric with the poignant memories of World War II. Standing here you see both history and humanity, from Neolithic rituals to wartime heroism, and the panoramic views of the South Downs and Eastbourne's coastline make it an unforgettable spot. Our final stop is the Wheatsheaf Inn, a pub whose origins likely lie in 2 flint cottages. By 1855 it was operating as a beer house under James Dully, and in 1962 it became a Grade 2 listed building. Throughout the 20th century it served as a social hub, especially during both world wars. Today it continues to welcome locals and visitors alike, and it's the perfect place to finish our journey, raising a second pint to centuries of Willingdon history. So there you have it, a day of discovery in Willingdon, from literary lore of the Red Lion to the charm of the village pump and sacred history of St Mary the Virgin and the church house, the cultural legacy of Richard Lewis CBE, and ancient wartime stories of Butts Brow, to the enduring hospitality of the Wheatsheaf. That's all from Bronte and myself. We've loved uncovering these layers of history, and we hope you have too. Well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Matthew, this is History in a Pint, and from me and Bronte, cheers and bye for now.